Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the From the Sidelines podcast. We are on episode number 15. 15 episodes in already. God, that boy, does time fly. As always, we are joined by the wonderful, the magnificent Mr. Scott Allen. How are you doing, Scott?
I'm very well, man. How are you?
I'm good. And just before we get into what's going to be this episode, you made a little cameo in another podcast episode, which I was pleased to see. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. That was on video as well, so it was a bit different. But yeah, no, it worked well. Covered quite a few points.
Yeah, I think it's good you've got that sort of experience with doing it every week. So that definitely helps. But today, obviously, we've got 2 games to cover for both Chelsea and for Fulham, so 4 games in total. Now, we'll start with the more positive side of the spectrum. We'll start with Fulham, because they've had a very, very big week. So, what happened with Fulham this week, Scott? What were the scores? What happened?
So we took a very, very mighty point against Liverpool on Sunday in a 1-1 draw. And, I think we could have won the game, but, we just couldn't hold on. And late penalty does us in. But it's a very positive result. And last night we had quite a drab affair, in all fairness, against a Brighton side who were very organised and that finished 0-0. It was Fulham's first 0-0 result at home in the league since 2011.
Wow, that's a big stat. I didn't know that. I'm just looking at the match stats here. Liverpool had a whopping 75% possession, and they only managed to score 1 goal from it. So I'm a little shocked at that, because we know Liverpool, they're a very dangerous side when it comes to winning games. They score a lot of goals, as we know. But Fulham actually had more shots in the game. They had
first half an hour we were fantastic. Liverpool weren't at the races, and we could have been 2 or 3 up in 30 minutes. But Alisson had a very, very good game and kept them in the game. If it weren't for Alisson, I don't know if those other chances would have been kept out.
Yeah, definitely. As we know, for me, I think Alisson's probably the best goalkeeper in the league. There's a lot of hype around him and Ederson. I just don't think Ederson makes as important more and more. I think Alisson makes more important saves than Ederson does when it comes to big game occasions, as we see City bottling it in the Champions League 2 years in a row, last season and the season before. But that point against Liverpool is absolutely monumental. That means that because you played Everton, Leicester, City and Liverpool back to back, you managed to get 4 points out of those 4 games.
Yeah, we've managed to get 5 points from our last 5 games as well, if you include the Brighton game as well. So, and to be fair, if you had said, if you go back to that Everton game, before the Everton game, and you put Fulham's next 5, how many points will they accrue? I don't think anyone would have given us more than 3. Maybe they would have given us a win against Brighton, which we didn't actually manage to do, but we still managed to get a point. I don't think anyone would have given us any points in any of the other games. We managed to get another 4. So, we've been on a good run in the last 5 games.
Yeah, Fulham have been really, really superb recently. I'm really, even as a Chelsea fan, I wasn't around when the Chelsea-Fulham rivalry was really that big. So, as a young Chelsea fan, it's good to see Fulham doing well. Obviously, I don't want them to go back down because they've just come back up. And I think some of your players who have performed well this season might think that they're too good for the team. They might not. I don't know the Fulham players that well. So, but that's not a question at the moment. The question is, how confident are you at the moment that you're going to stay up?
If we carry on playing like we're playing, then there's no reason that we won't stay up. Don't get me wrong, we're still going to be down there fighting. But I've seen a lot of positives in the last couple of games. That Liverpool game, I think it was our best performance of the season, bar none. For the first half an hour, we looked threatening. We looked defensively solid. They didn't really have a chance in the first 30 minutes. But, and second half, yes, Liverpool had all of the ball, but Liverpool didn't have many clear-cut chances. I think Henderson had one, Jones had one, and there was maybe another couple. But other than that, they didn't really test our goal. And when they did, Areola was absolutely fantastic in keeping them out. And unfortunately, we got stung by a penalty.
Yeah, it was a late penalty as well, 80th minute. And that can be really, really destroying when you've led the game for the majority of it, and you get a penalty gets given against you.
And the penalty wasn't handed for us either.
I saw that. I did see that.
When I saw it, I didn't think it was a penalty. But the more I've watched it, it's a penalty. He takes the foot, which then changes the direction of the ball. And he gets underneath him. So, that's one that we didn't get. But, we're still happy with a point.
Yeah, definitely. If you said to any Fulham fan before the game, would you take a point from this game? All of them say yes. Absolutely.
No one would have expected us to get a point, and that's. I think we're proving that we're not the whipping boys that we were early in the season. We're proving a point that we belong here, and I don't think the Brighton game proves that, but again, we didn't lose, and we managed to keep a clean sheet, which is a positive.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to say that Robinson is at a left back. He is superb. He's a really good player.
Yeah, he was the man of the match. He was our man of the match against Liverpool. Bobby deckled over Reed as well. That he's the man who last season didn't have the best of times in the Fulham shirt. He only scored 6 goals in 42 appearances last year. But they were everything. I always saw Bobby Decordova-Reid as an important player because it's just the way he brings other players into the game from the wide positions, and I think he's a busy player. But this year he's different class. He's our top goal scorer. He scored 4 or 5 now, and he's playing essentially well out of position at right wing back. So I think he's another player that's really, really impressed me in the past 4 or 5 games, but also at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, like you say, this season, I remember watching Decordova-Reid last season, a few Fulham games I went to and on the telly when they were on Sky Sports in big games. This season he just doesn't look like that same player from last season, as he said. He looks like a different player.
No, and he wasn't. I don't think for large parts of last season he was a regular starter. So this year he's been given the chance and he's taken it with both hands.
He's really proving that he should be the one one of the first names on that team sheet every week.
100%. But as well, if you look at his goal, the way the touch is beautiful. He sets it perfectly for him to rifle it into the bottom corner. No keeper's going to save that. It's a very well hit shot. It's a fantastic finish.
Yeah, definitely. Just want to mention something you mentioned in the other podcast that you were a part of about Jamie Carragher. Could you just talk a bit about what he said and other things?
I think a lot of people know what Jamie Carragher said about Fulham after the Aston Villa game. He said that Fulham are down. He knows that he's certain, and he's more certain that Fulham were down than Liverpool were to win the league. He's never been more certain of anything in his life. And, I think he's, in the past few weeks, he's had to eat a bit of humble pie because we're not that team anymore. We're not getting trounced 3-0 at home to teams that we should be competing with, like Aston Villa. But Aston Villa are having a very good season this year. But, we knew the potential this squad had. But now we're starting to see this squad really, really have a go every week. But at the beginning of the season, they just seem defeated.
Yeah, it seemed like after every game they were walking off the pitch. All of the most of the players, their heads were down, just sort of thinking, "Oh, this is gonna be a long old season." But they've really seemed to pick it up. They've got their heads up high now, putting in results, getting points here, there.
The back five.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got a whole brand new back four, and do you know what? It takes time for a back four to gel and play well together, and our defenders are really starting to hit the ground running together and play together, and it's fantastic to see.
Yeah, definitely. Your back four, two brand new centre backs, Adebayo and Anderson, who are both having a good season so far.
We've been playing a back three the last 3 games. You know, Ola Aina's done fantastically as part of the back three with Robinson and Decordova Reid as the wing back. So that's all the central defenders at the moment are playing very, very well.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. You're doing well. You're doing what you do best at the moment. And I just want to say, what do you think went wrong in the Brighton game? What wasn't happening for you?
Personally, I think there were the two systems just negated each other. They're very similar. Both of us played with a back three with wing backs, and the same amount of players in the middle and up front. So it's both styles just shifting and shifting and shifting, and I just don't think the game went anyway. There was a couple of chances for Brighton, but we had a couple of chances as well. Scott Parker said after the game that he feels that we're a bit jaded tonight, and because they put a lot of effort in the Liverpool game. But for me, Brighton at home, if we want to stay in this division, is a game we have to win. And I'm happy it's a point, but it should be 3 because they're the sort of teams we have to be beating.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, these teams like Brighton, we see you beat West Brom. That was a huge win, first win of the season for you, and that has really, since then your team have looked really confident. As we see, you've beaten Leicester, you've got a point against Liverpool. It's been really good. So.
And don't get me wrong, we got away with it last night. Brighton had a goal disallowed, rightly for handball. But we had a chance to win the game at a very, very crucial time, which I think might have hurt Brighton if that goes in. Just about 10 minutes before the end, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. For me, he has to do better. He just hits the ball, and the keeper had already dived. He'd gone early, and he still manages to save it with his feet. I really think Loftus-Cheek should be finding a corner. And it screams out that why weren't Mitrovic on the pitch? Because bringing Mitrovic on after there's 10 minutes left it's not enough time. I think we needed to change up top. Because when he come on, he created a couple of chances, and he had a very good chance in the box, which should have been a corner, but it wasn't. So, but yeah, I don't know why Mitrovic wasn't in a little bit earlier.
Yeah, definitely. You want to bring him on maybe with 20 minutes, 25 minutes to go to try and bring him into the game more, give him more time to do something, if you know what I mean.
He hasn't played a lot of football recently, but, a lot of Fulham fans were screaming for him to start, and I think I do back that notion, but obviously if he hasn't played in the last 4 games at all, then how fit is he? So,
that's the thing. He hasn't really fully recovered from that hamstring injury, has he?
No, and the thing is I don't think Scott's substitutions made a lot of sense yesterday. We were screaming out for a bit of creativity. Lamina for Reid it's not a bad substitution because it's like for like, but it's very, very boring. It's a boring sub to make. It's uninspiring because that's going to be made. But Loftus-Cheek for bringing on Abubakar Kamara, for me, it just didn't make sense. Should have brought Tom Kearney on, had a bit of creativity and taken Loftus-Cheek on then, but he didn't.
Yeah. And just before we move on to the part I'm not looking forward to, the teams around you, around that, in that relegation battle, you've got Sheffield United with only 1 point. I can't really see there, unless there's a miracle, I can't really see much of a way back for Sheffield United. Then you've got, who's next? I think it's West Brom.
Yeah.
Who are 2 points below you now, 3 points below you?
It's 2, I think, maybe.
Oh yeah, because they did get a point against C, didn't they?
Very important point. And after which they sacked their manager, which is ludicrous. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they're not out of sight. And Chris Wilder's kept his job, and they look like they're out of sight. They're, Fulham are now quite a few points ahead of them, and we were the top of the bottom 3. But that point lifts us above Burnley for now. But they play tonight, which was kicked off about 10 minutes ago. So hoping they lose.
Who are they playing?
I can't recall.
Well, this isn't a West Brom podcast, so we won't go too much into it. As you said, Burnley, who you've gone above, who are playing tonight. Obviously, for your sake, let's hope they lose. So therefore, it's their game in hand as well, is it not?
No, it's not. Everyone played.
Yes.
That's the thing. They now have 2 games in hand on us, and we're equal on points. But obviously, they're one that then will be played tonight. But if they don't get a result, which would be good for us, or even if they get a point, they go a point above us. That Newcastle game on Saturday is absolutely massive. We have to win that game.
Yeah, that's a huge game. Newcastle have looked recently. They haven't been on their best form.
They just got slapped 5-2 by Leeds, so
yes, that is true.
Maybe they'll come out to prove a point, but I just can't see it. Their football's just so uninspiring.
Yeah, they don't play very nice football, and it doesn't seem to work very often.
Well, they're a bit like Palace. They're very inconsistent, but they've been getting quite a few results, and they found themselves in the top half, so it's not bad.
Yeah, definitely. But here comes the part of the podcast where this week, normally I'm buzzing about it, but this week I'm not looking forward to it at all. I haven't spoke to anybody at all about Chelsea's last 2 games. I haven't spoken about anything to anyone, but it's that time to talk about it, and we're going to start with Everton 1, Chelsea 0. The only goal of the game coming from the spot from Everton's temporary captain, Gylfi Sigurdsson. It's stupid, really, really stupid from Mendy to be doing that. He's come out for the ball.
Is he the temporary captain? I thought he was the captain.
No, because Seamus Coleman is currently the captain.
Oh, he's the club captain.
Yeah. Okay. But Mendy obviously came out for the ball and he's just completely misjudged it, and he's absolutely bollocked is the word I'm going to use. I'll say he's absolutely smacked.
Horrendous goalkeeping. It's absolutely horrendous goalkeeping.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what he was thinking. There's no need for it.
Yeah.
He's at the edge of the box, essentially. He's quite a way into the box. He's only just entered the area. So it doesn't need to happen.
Yeah. Calvert-Lewin wins the foul in the box. Gylfi Sigurdsson takes it and just taps it middle right of the goal. Mendy dives to the left. And after that, there wasn't many chances, I don't think. We looked good at the start of the first half. Reece James was superb that night. He hit the post, and Zuma also hit the post, I believe, at some point in the game. And there's not much more I can really talk about it. We just didn't take our chances when we had them. Everton weren't really in the game for much of it. Richarlison was... I was very annoyed with him because he was just on the floor. He was on the floor for about 90% of the game. And I was just like, just get up, mate. There's no need for you to do this. Like, you're winning the game 1-0. Obviously, you want to waste time, but
that's you played. I think you played very well. That's exactly what you do.
Yeah,
he's done nothing wrong. That is exactly what you do.
Yeah, it's
You
just
go to
frustrating.
ground,
It's
Yeah,
frustrating.
of course it's frustrating because your team didn't look like getting back into the game. They did not look like they were going to score a goal. And, you know, they don't need to. And the amount of fouls Chelsea were conceding was stupid. You need to get back in the game. All of these fouls do not help your cause. You need to be a little bit more disciplined.
Yeah, definitely. And I think part of that comes with having a very young team as well. Obviously, we have got those experienced players. We have got Thiago Silva, Aspilicueta, N'Golo Kante, Olivier Giroud, who have got that experience. But so far, it's just not really working. At the start of the season, we've been good. It's just since the kickoff of the Everton game to the final whistle of the Wolves game, in those 180 minutes of football, we have been shocking, absolutely shocking.
You weren't very good against Spurs. Like, Chelsea are very inconsistent. Like they have been all year. They haven't been on a run of win. You know, they've lost games this year, and they've had results this year that haven't been favourable.
Exactly, and we've got West Ham coming up, and West Ham are a very, very big bogey side for us. There's nothing else I can really say. I don't feel confident going into the West Ham game because they're on a bit of a roll, and they're a bogey team. They've always been a bogey team for us. So I just don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know. Chelsea, it just doesn't know. It doesn't look like Frank Lampard knows how to win in games that he has to win. You know, it's all well and good you beating the teams in the bottom half. You've got to beat the teams in the top half as well.
Yeah, if you want to win the league or get top four football, which is our aim at the moment, we want we need to win the games against not just the teams around us, but we need to beat those mid-table teams who are going to be starting to push maybe to get a few places higher in the division. But one
Correct
thing,
me if I'm wrong, I don't think Chelsea have beaten anyone within the top 10 yet.
Correct you if you're wrong. Who have we played? I honestly do not know who we've really played.
Have a look at the table. I don't think you've beaten anyone in the top 10.
Let me have a quick look. We have. We've played Liverpool, lost Liverpool, played Spurs, drew with Spurs, played Southampton, drew with Southampton, played with Man United, drew with Man United, played with Everton, lost to Everton. No, we haven't.
You've not beaten anybody inside the top 10 in the league.
Nope.
And I don't think
it speaks for itself. It really speaks for itself. I think something needs to happen as a Chelsea fan. Lampard, obviously, I have full faith in Lampard that he can pick this back up. I'm hoping he can pick it back up. I just want to touch on two players that we signed in the window that I was very excited to see. And I know you like one of them, and you say that he's out of position, and I agree with you. Timo Werner, he needs to play up front. On the wing, he's just so ineffective. It just doesn't work at all. And the other player being Kai Havertz, who has been one word even, dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. And that's all I can say on that.
He hasn't played barely in the past 2 months. Like, I don't think he's been dreadful. Frank Lampard, I believe, at the moment, he's trying to operate the club like, you're all my best friends, so I want to keep everybody happy. But, you know, the amount of rotation, really, it's not working. You need to find your 11, and your 11 needs to play. But him chopping and changing these positions here, there, and everywhere, it's not helping.
Yeah, definitely. I can't say that I disagree with you there.
He went with probably Tammy for 6 games, and now he's chosen to go with Giroud for 6 games. You know, he's had Mount in there, he's had Havertz in there, he's had Kovacic in, he's had Kovacic out, he's had Jorginho in, he's had Jorginho out. You know, that amount of change is not going to find any sort of form.
I think from now on, once we've got Ziyech back or Hudson-Odoi back in the team, I really want to see a front three of Pulisic, Werner, and Ziyech, and I really want to see it. I want to see it pretty soon because I think that's going to be the trio that sort of, obviously people are saying, oh, Werner's rubbish, Werner's this, Werner's that. I think he's played 2 games this season out of like the 15 we've played already, including in all competitions up front, and in both of those games he's scored goals. So it's a tough one. It is really a tough one. I really hope that trio can play as soon as possible because I think that's the trio that's gonna do stuff. Ziyech with the left foot, he's gonna be whipping the ball in the box all day long. Werner's gonna be there, hopefully to put it away. Pulisic is gonna be there to cut inside, make them runs, and hopefully finish his dinner. Werner's just gonna be making runs all the time.
I know Pulisic has been injured, but he doesn't look like the player he was before his injury at the moment.
Yeah,
he just looks off the boil. You know, I don't know. It's going to take him a few weeks, but Chelsea don't have a few weeks. Chelsea got a free pass at the weekend. Their Everton result, essentially, it was a free pass because Tottenham dropped points, Liverpool dropped points. All of the teams in the top 4 and the top 5 dropped points. But, you know, you had a second chance on Tuesday or Wednesday, and you didn't take it.
Yeah, Tuesday, I said it before the game, Spurs and Liverpool play each other. One of them is guaranteed, or one of them, if not both teams, are guaranteed to lose points. And obviously, Spurs lost points. If we'd have won that game, we would have been well in the hunt. It was
impossible for that game to finish without a team dropping points.
Exactly.
You knew that. But, you know, the Chelsea team, they shouldn't be telling that. You know, they should know. But their performances, again, even in the Wolves game, I turned it off because I just didn't see Chelsea doing it. The Wolves looked like they were comfortable. So, you know, and I think that their winner was quite deserved.
Yeah, a 95th minute winner for Wolves. When I put up my phone, I saw it, and my phone just erupted with messages from mates, from family members, and it was like, for God's sakes, you had one job. In the 95th minute, I think there was 6 added minutes or something like that from a VAR check or something, and there was 1 minute left, and it's 1-1. You just sit out for the draw because I don't think there was enough time for us to go and nick a winner because Wolves were on the ball. They were trying to get the ball in the box, trying to score, and Kurt Zouma lets Neto shoot, and there's nothing Mendy can do about it.
And even Podol's first goal was a very good goal, but that's the thing, Chelsea. You can't sit there and say, oh, it's the 95th minute, we have a minute left, let's hold out for a draw against Wolves. Chelsea should be beating Wolves.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Firstly, we shouldn't be in that position. But Wolves were awesome in that the last half an hour of that game. They were superb. They were putting piling on pressure.
They nullified Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea weren't in the game, and that should be worrisome, you know, especially if you've got aspirations to win the league. So I mean, you've got aspirations. You have to finish in the top 4.
Yeah.
You spent £200 million in the summer.
Yep.
Top 4 finish is. I mean, after spending £200 million, if you're not expected to go and win the league, that's a bit crazy. But you know, minimum expectation is to finish in the top 4, and at the moment, Chelsea don't occupy a top 4 space.
Yeah, definitely. So that's all I've really got to talk about them 2 games. I'm really disappointed, really disappointed about the results. But that's football for you. anything can happen in the Premier League, as we've seen over this season. It's been a wild, wild season. And I just want to take maybe 2 to 3 minutes to talk about different teams that have shocked the league so far. We've got Southampton, who are in a wicked position, 4th place at the moment, or 3rd place even, I should be saying. With like 23
I think
points.
you forget Southampton before the Liverpool game kicked off were top.
Yeah. They've been definitely they're the Leicester, they're the Sheffield United of this season. I
don't think it's shocking. They were very good towards the end of last year as well. They are at the moment a very competent footballing side, and we played them on Boxing Day. And yes, we're a different team now, but I'm not confident about that game.
I don't see. I completely. If I was a Fulham fan, I wouldn't be very confident. Arsenal managed to nick a point against them.
It's kind of horrible because I don't want Fulham to ruin my Christmas. So it's a tough. But they're on a very good run, and Adam, the way they play, they all play as an absolute unit, and congratulations to them.
Yeah, definitely. They've Hassan Hootel, whatever his name is, he's been doing a superb job there for this season, and individual Danny Ings, James Ward-Prowse, Che Adams, Vestergaard's been solid at the back this season. All of them individuals. Theo Walcott's even been good. They've been really good for them, and I'm not saying obviously it's just them players.
Peters has been fantastic. When I say they're playing as an absolute team and an absolute unit, and that I don't think a lot of people would have said that after they got beat 9-1 or 9 whatever it was against Leicester, or whatever the score was.
9-0.
There you go. So look at them now. They're 4th in the Premier League.
Yeah, that 9-0 was the best result for them last year.
And do you know what? I'm not going to sit here and say that they're going to finish in the top 4, but they can definitely grab a European spot.
Yeah, definitely. If they keep doing what they're doing, they can definitely get that European spot. Another team that I would say they're excelling. They're over.
You say Leeds,
No. I'm not going to say Leeds.
I will finish right now.
A team that are overperforming at the moment is.
Are you going to say Aston Villa?
I am going to say Aston Villa. Because they are. You've got to accept they're overperforming.
Yeah, haven't they lost?
Yeah, but they're still in the top. They're still in the top 12.
Yeah, they've had a very good season, but they're not on very good form right now.
They're still overperforming, regardless, because I think a lot of people had them in the relegation battle again. I did.
I understand, but I just can't seem to praise Villa. Well, I think Konsa's a good player. They've got very good players. John McGinn's a good player, and they've played very well. And Jack Grealish, I am going to say, he's had a very good season, but there's always a team that has a flying start, and then after Christmas, just take their foot off the gas a bit. And I believe that could be Villa.
I don't see why it won't be them, because they, as you said, they had a really, really good start. Their form is dipping at the moment, and obviously we're literally right at the Christmas period. We're in the Christmas period, so there's going to be a lot of games to be played. There's going to be a lot of rotation as well in teams because of the amount of football that's being played. So Villa could be in trouble.
I don't think they'll be in trouble. I think that they're already safe from going down. They'll beat the teams that are down the bottom, and they probably will beat Fulham as well. But I just think they might not finish in the top half. I think they could easily finish 13th, 14th, 15th.
Yeah.
But I do believe they'll be safe.
When I said trouble, I didn't mean like they're going to go down trouble. I mean that they could be in trouble in losing a lot of points that maybe they should have could have got.
Yeah, but they picked up a tremendous amount of points already, and they,
Definitely.
People forget they beat the champions 7-2.
Yeah, definitely. We reviewed that. If you want to check it out, I think it's episode 8. So go over there, check that out. But I think that's all we've got for today. Just before we go, remember you can listen to the episodes a day earlier every week. We'll be releasing the YouTube video a day later every week. So go on Spotify or any major podcasting platform, and we'll be on there a day earlier than when it will be on YouTube. So Scott, thanks once again for being here. As you always are amazing. Everyone, I'm sure, loves it when you're here. When it's just us two. Obviously, we do have guests, but my favourite podcasts are when it's just us two. We just waffle on for half an hour. So thank you once again for being here.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode. See you later.
Bye.